Silke, Marlin, Sarah, hello.
Hi Silke, hi Doc.
Tony, Forte, have I said your name right? Forte? Okay.
Pronounced daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter, like
Sarah.
son and daughter. So,
Okay, great. Thank you. That's easy to remember now. Thank you. Hey, Tony. Welcome to anyone that's watching this recording. I know there was more people that signed up that couldn't make it live. Thank you for taking time to join us. To help us arrive. Lovely. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll ask you to mute while unless you're coming to ask a question or something, we'll give you a chance to speak. And if you'd like to put in the chat where you're calling in from and something you're feeling grateful for today, it's a nice way to see who else is in the room. And I'm calling in from my home, Applewood Permaculture Centre in Herefordshire in the UK, where we run courses. But we're not running courses here at the moment because it's cold and wintry. But I'm grateful for warm houses and grateful for food and grateful for that. I've been singing all weekend at the Natural Voice Network, so slightly croaky from all the singing, but really immensely grateful for the power of song to connect and to build community and open hearts and help us access our emotions and all those amazing things that song does. It was a really beautiful weekend that I had and learned some more songs which I'll be sharing over the summer. I hope, yeah, lovely. And today I'm joined also by co-facilitators Delvin Solkinson and chance to welcome and say hello, and also Emma Gorbett will be joining us in a bit. She's the one of my co-facilitators, but also the magic weaver of websites and booking forms and all of those those things as well. And food. She's also an important weaver of food on my courses often, so she'll be joining us. But before that, Delvin, would you like to welcome and say hello?
Welcome. It's so amazing to gather from all over the world, different countries and seasons and places and cultures. I've been reading Joanna Macy lately, and she says grace happens when we act with others on behalf of our world. And coming to these gatherings to connect with like-minded people always just regenerates me and fortifies me and inspires me. So I'm really excited about the opportunities of the year to come and continuing learning. I'm a lifelong learner, so I'm really keen to learn about opportunities to come together with you and many other people to grow and learn and connect and become better. And yeah, that's me. I'm coming from a little snowy village on the coast of British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah, thanks, Delvin. Thanks for helping with the tech as well. And yeah, we've got Canada, Denmark, Switzerland, Dorset, Philippines, many different countries in the room as well. And yeah, Leona, would you like to introduce yourself and then maybe lead straight into the little meditation you were?
Sure. So hi everyone. My name's Leona Johnson. I calling in from the north of England, a little town called Hebden Bridge. It's very snowy here right now, but it isn't usually. So it was very exciting this morning when my kids came down the stairs and opened the curtains, and so we've been out sliding around in that today. I'm yes, same as Delvin, super grateful to be able to meet with so many people of different cultures, but also who are seeking culture and growing in knowledge and wisdom and depth around our own personal cultures in order that we might contribute and be surrounded by and help to create different culture as we move into the future. So yeah, lovely to see your faces. Thank you for coming with your curiosity to discover more about cultural emergence. And yeah, we'll look forward to sharing more about that soon. But I always like to start with a little grounding. So if you are willing, I'm going to invite you to just find yourself a comfortable position where you can find some stillness. And if you're happy to, close your eyes and just allow yourself to come into presence with this moment, right here, right now. Just notice where your feet, your bottom, your body is touching another surface. Just notice where you feel warm, where you might feel cooler. Notice the connection from the crown of your head. It might fill you up to the heavens, the stars, the sun, the moon, the sky. Above us always, connecting us to the vastness of all that there is. And beneath us, that sense of solidity, the earth, this rock that we float around the universe upon, this beautiful mother that provides us with all that we need to live in this life. Just noticing the breath. No need to change anything. Just asking yourself in this moment, how am I right now? As an independent person, yeah, individually and also in connection. Knowing you're here connected to others in all different parts of the world, these threads of connection that stretch through this amazing worldwide web that many of us know nothing about, but it seems to connect us beautifully. And so with the web that connects beneath us, the mycelium, the roots, these webs of connection that connect all other beings and things. Knowing that we're part of that always. We're just coming into our bodies. Maybe see if there's a part of you that wants to move. Maybe your shoulders, giving them a little turn. Maybe you'd like to give your arms a little stretch. And just coming into our bodies right now. Slowly peeking open your eyes and yeah, a little shake. And here we are. Always good to come into our bodies, into our hearts. And it's lovely to open up and see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Fiona. That's lovely, and it's so important, isn't it, to be in our bodies? And I think this is one of the bodies and hearts and this is one of the things that happens on the cultural emergence courses, is we come into our bodies and hearts, and it's not just about the theory of cultural emergence and how can we think our way into a new culture. Like, yes, the theory helps, but it's a whole body experience that we need to feel and integrate. And yeah, so thank you for demonstrating that so beautifully. Yeah. So wanted to invite you all, if you have questions about specific courses or generally about courses, or any questions at all, to put them in the chat, and then we'll see, maybe they get answered as we go, or maybe we'll specifically answer them later in the call. But just to see, I put in my notes like quest in the chat, and it's like, yeah, what is your quest? What's brought you here today that that you're looking to engage with, that you're sort of like thinking, oh, maybe I'd like to know more about the courses or about cultural emergence. I know there's several of you that have been on courses with me before here, and other new faces as well. So just if you have questions, to share them in the chat. And while you're doing that, I wanted to share with you this image here. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a few. Yes, perfect. So this is the mandala that I've made about cultural emergence learning pathways, because what I realized when started developing the cultural emergence toolkit is there's many different aspects of it, and it's quite a lot to, if we tried to do it all in one go, it would be like this kind of complete immersive experience that would just be a lot to take in, and then that would sort of maybe wouldn't last. So looking at it more of a way of like getting kind of one dose of inspiration, and then going away, integrating that, and then coming back and getting some more inspirations, more tools, and then layering them on. And instead of thinking of it in a sort of linear process, like you do one course and then another, like thinking of it as this non-linear thing. So this is why I represent it as this this mandala. And we have the ACE course, which is activating cultural emergence, and this focuses on the phase which we call challenge and awaken of cultural emergence. And this is where we sort of explore all the toolkit, and what is culture, and what is our personal culture, and how do we change culture, and we look at the whole toolkit like that. And I'll be running that course here at Applewood in May, and also online later in the year, but I haven't quite worked out when I'll be doing that. And then we have the move and invigorate phase, which is where it's like, okay, I'm aware of all these things. I want to kind of make designs and make change happen in my life on small scales. How do I tidy my home, to bigger projects? And this is the seed course, which is the cultural emergence effective design course, which is where we use the design web to create designs for ourselves. I'll be running this one online with John Young starting in February. And then the peace course, which is peace, empowerment and cultural emergence, which is where we really go into the tools of nature connection and really embody and experience them, and find out what peace means for us in our body, and then what are those tools that we can ripple out into a peaceful culture in our lives. And that will be this summer with me and Leona here at Applewood. And so those are the three main modules of cultural emergence. And then there's opportunity then to take that further. And this year we'll be running the CELT course, which is Cultural Emergence Leadership Pathway. And that will be a year-long program, and we'll have a week in September, and then online program, and then a week the following September, so September 25. So I'll stop my share there. So that's the kind of basic picture of the modules of cultural emergence. Yeah. Leona, did you want to
Yeah, so
share something?
I was just going to share a bit about my journey with cultural emergence, because I know that some people here are completely new to it. As Luby said, I'm one of the facilitators. I've facilitated the Peace course, and also having to facilitate an ACE course. And what happened when I learned about cultural emergence was this buzz of excitement, because I have been on a life quest, and I imagine that you are all here because you're on a similar quest. Maybe you've already dipped into nonviolent communication, or the work that reconnects, or systems thinking, or maybe you've done a little bit of grief tending, or ceremony work, or nature connection, or H shields, and for me, those have been what had come up. Like all of these pathways to learning and understanding myself in a wider culture. But what I didn't have was this pathway that would enable me to bring all of that together and create a culture of emergence that I wanted to see, that I believe is possible in our lifetime. I was a climate activist. I was a parent, I'm a parent, and I was a social worker working on the front line. And I was really facing and bringing myself to the front of what I saw as a culture of disconnection, culture of disconnection sickness. Um, and when I came across, first of all, it was Luby's book, People and Permaculture, that was so exciting to me, that I then followed on to cultural emergence. And when I started embedding the structures, the pathways, the tools, the principles into my life, all of what I'd been learning started to make sense. And I found a language, I found a way that I could bring more of what I felt was needed into the communities I was a part of. So that's a little bit about my journey with cultural emergence, or what inspired me. Whenever Luby and I started working together, we worked together on the Peace, Empowerment and Cultural Emergence program, because for me, a big part of us stepping into our highest potential is knowing ourselves as the animal human that we are. You know, really, really having the tools, having the core routines that enable us to really come back into connection with ourselves fully. And so the Peace course is an opportunity to deepen our relationship to nature, as nature, within community, within groups of other like-minded people who are passionate in the same way as you are about wanting to create change. And there's not, I mean, I've got plenty of friends who are interested in doing the same things, but there's something really special that happens when you come together with people on the land, and you really, you know, the outside world, just for the time, it disappears, and we are not on any land, we're on Applewood, which is just a beautiful space, beautifully tended, apple orchards and lake, and a place to really drop into that, you know, deeper sense of peace, and really embodied sense of peace where we create a collective culture, a culture of care, a culture of deep listening, a culture of questing into what the world wants from us, and then creating together. So what I would say is, if you're considering the tool, and what I love about the whole pathway is that each piece really amplifies what you gain from each of the other pieces, and it really doesn't matter which order you do them in, but that there is something to keep growing. I find it quite frustrating on some of the courses that I've been on in my time, that I would do this really amazing thing and then that's it. What we've got with cultural emergence is this growing community of people around the world, that with the platform, the circuit platform to connect with, and this continuous connection with growing people growing their projects in their own worlds and receiving support and inspiration from each other. So that's a little bit from me for now.
Yeah, thank you, Leona. Yeah, it's nice to hear that. I'm enjoying seeing in the chat. There's these quests that people are on of from Adrian. My quest is to learn a bit more about ways of using the seed cards with people who are not used to them as part of climate action awareness raising and community action planning. And that's certainly part of the intention of the card deck, and we'll use the cards for ourselves in a moment, but also just to see that rippling out, so that what we're learning is not just for ourselves, it's also about how to take things forwards as well. And then from Gianna here, because cultural emergence is a powerful tool to help me in the quest to support teachers and education professionals to cultivate a regenerative, caring culture in their learning communities. And spreading that in Brazil, that'd be lovely. From Darlin, I'm here to connect with the cultural emergence movement, a quest to intentionally living my life with design thinking. And from Daughter and from Pernil, you've both come through Sky Jin, who's talked highly about it, and would love to learn more. From Nikki, quest about nurturing intimate connections, keen to have a framework that supports myself and others to create this fertile ground. Yeah, that word framework again is useful, isn't it, to think of the cultural emergence holding these different ideas or concepts or methods that we have that can be a kind of a basket container for us. From Anna, in self-care mode and come to have a hug of cultural emergence to easily remember my path again with like-minded people. Lovely. Yeah. And Marie, my quest is to find a rhythm to bring together various designs I've been working on over the last 3 years and see where they might direct me, especially in connection with urban nature. Yeah, so, and Sarah, quest to rewild myself. I've lost it. Where is it again?
Although I don't know what it's like yet. I have already
Yeah,
benefited Peace and Ace, which were both magical experiences. I'm here to feel into the next steps.
yeah.
Mm.
And Tony, joined to see what the cultural emergence concept is all about. Great. And Louise, another person that's heard about it through Skyjin. Lovely. Well done for Jin sharing about it. Big problems with sound. Is everyone else hearing okay? Yeah, so I'm sorry, maybe you'll get the recording there. Louise, okay. Yeah, it's your sound. Okay, lovely. So so maybe I'll go back a moment actually, and then I'll hand over to Delvin, because I've realised, like we're seeing Tony saying, come to hear what cultural emergence is all about, and realise that some of you are very familiar, and some of you maybe need to hear the story of how it all came to be. So my journey started in permaculture back in 1999, and at that time, what I realised after a while of then teaching permaculture was that lots of people think about permaculture as just land-based, but actually there's a lot more shifts that can happen in our thinking, in our being, in our interacting in the world, and that also we have earth care solutions on the planet at the moment. We could do massive global earth care, earth repair, but it's the people that stop that happening. And so in permaculture design, when we find what the limit is, then that becomes our design focus. So increasing our people care skills was the focus of my book, People in Permaculture. And you'll see on the front here the design web, which is a design framework which we use in the seed course to create designs for ourselves, and focusing on people care, focusing on shifting thinking. That was my second book, smaller book, 7 Ways to Think Differently, which is like my answer to what is permaculture, shifts the thinking. And I hope that would just radically transform permaculture, and everyone would see its potential for all people, and people would no longer think of it as just a gardening technique. But that hasn't quite happened. Permaculture is still in a kind of myth of it's just about gardening. It's slowly breaking out of that. But meanwhile, I came in collaboration with John Young, who's a nature connection specialist. He started a movement called Eight Shields Movement, and he's interested in cultural repair. And through our collaboration, we came up with this phrase, cultural emergence, and this intention of creating a toolkit for change, a toolkit that would look at shifting our cultures on a personal level, on a family level, on rippling out from there. The premise that actually the problems we see economically, even personally, ecologically, are a root of cultural problems. That the climate emergency is actually a cultural emergency. And so this was this through our collaboration, we developed more tools and named and kind of positioned the tools we already had, including the design web, and then last year, which I say last year, but it was actually only a few weeks ago, that I came out the Cultural Emergence Empowerment and Design Tech, which is also called the C Tech. Yeah, I know a few of you got it. You've got it. You can wave it around. There's travel around the world already, and this came out, and this is like putting the tools into like a card deck so that it's easy to share with other people and easy to pick the cards yourself. So I feel like maybe we need to pick a card now. Yeah, let's see. I haven't got a specific question in mind, but okay, here we go. So this is the card that I picked, which is self and collective responsibility.
Wow.
Be part of the solution. Come into alignment with your vision, choices, and actions. Encourage everyone to collectively care. Balance responsibility and power. So, for example, we might pick that on one of our courses and really invite us all to collectively take responsibility for our learning environment, for the group, for each other. Yeah, and yeah, it feels quite a appropriate one for this call as well, of like inviting us all to be part of the solution and coming into alignment with your vision, choices, and actions. Yeah. So, Delvin, would you like to share a bit about what we're doing as well, and how the seed course leads into the group diploma adventure? And you're muted. I think you're still muted, Delvin. We saw
Sorry, I couldn't
we
see my unmute there for a second there. I was trying to be all fancy and put up a graphic. But
well, we did see the graphic.
uh yeah, I could say a few things about my journey and maybe talk a little bit about the courses. I yeah, I said I've been reading Joanna Macy lately. She said you don't need to do everything. Do what calls your heart. Effective action comes from love. It is unstoppable and it is enough. And I've kind of been riding that, surfing that wave. I think my quest has evolved and changed over the years, and it's still evolving with like being on this call with all of you. But there was this key point in 2015 at Applewood, taking a teacher training with Luby and Chris Evans and Rosemary Morrow. And Rosemary kind of did some kind of shamanic ceremony with me where she sort of cast out my previous quest, which was given to me by Jeff Lawton, which was to make myself redundant, which I kind of really resonated with at the time. And she kind of recognized, actually, you can worry about that later, but your quest is to continually to learn, to skill up, to keep taking classes without end. And that really, she recognized that was my journey, and I'm still on that journey, taking classes. I'm doing a postdoc in permaculture education and a fourth diploma right now, and training to be a better tutor and teacher and support for others on the journey. So I guess my heart, what I love, which is learning, has called me to join with others on the journey and kind of share in a team quest to be part of a learning guild, us all supporting and encouraging and motivating each other. And I feel like all the courses really do that. And it's encouraging moving forward and doing designs for practical and present things in my life and in people's lives, projects, garden, home, work, relationships. So for me, that's where it all comes through, is how it affects my personal life and how it helps me make decisions and do designs. So last night I was playing with the seed deck and I pulled this card, Move the Tools. And I was thinking about moving forward in life and making decisions and doing things that are going to support me and make me increasingly effective in my journey, in my quest. So I do want to put that out to everyone too. I love this question of what is your quest? What do you want to achieve in 2024? What's an important part of your life that you want to take to the next level? And what courses will support that specifically? And I love that we're all kind of curating our own educational journey. And I really see learning and designing as a form of service so that we can be better people, so that we can be better Earth citizens. And I was reflecting on this quote from Mary Ann Radmacher, who said, as we work to create light for others, we naturally light our own way. And I really liked that a lot. That made a lot of sense to me, that when you're in service to other people in your life, then you're in service to yourself as well. And I think that's what I'm seeking, is this kind of compass, this guidance that's both within me, but also comes from other people that I connect with, about how to proceed on this adventure, this quest into the unknown, and be encouraged and supported along the way. So yeah, I guess a couple things specifically, maybe in short, because people can read more online, but one of my interests is the diploma. We do this group diploma adventure. I work with Luby McNamara and a bunch of other people, and that's supporting people to do what I just said, really come together with like-minded people, have fun, have an adventure, and apply the learnings to practical things in their life. So I kind of was seeing it this morning as a like a book with different chapters that we're writing as we go. You know, the first chapter is the seed course, which is coming up in February. And it's really exciting. There's tons of people involved. It's focused on one small achievable design, and it's a great kind of activation. The second chapter could be anything depending on your journey, but the second chapter of this particular journey is to do 2 designs, to finish up the design or take it to the next level that was done in the seed course, and then to do another design. And this yields we're calling it a foundations diploma certificate. It's more officially called a certificate in applied permaculture design, a foundation to the diploma. So we'll work on getting that title a little bit shorter. But that's another piece, another point of celebration is 2 designs. So first there's the 1, then there's the 2. And then after that, some people are called to continue on the diploma journey, which is more of a deeper quest. And then you've had time to really assess how far do I want to go in my journey out of the Shire? Do I want to do 8 more designs? And that's the diploma in applied permaculture design. So that's what the group diploma adventure supports. We do monthly online gatherings. Everyone is a small group, like an action learning guild, which checks in with each other regularly. There's tutorials and assessments for your designs. And yeah, we have this fantastic online classroom, Circle Space, which is open to participants in all the courses in different capacities. And we have our own little classroom for that group on Circle Space as well, to share encouragement and discussions and, you know, resources and regular videos from Luby and I. And I think the gem for me, which is getting me through the winter, I'm spending a lot of time in front of the computer these days working. One of the things I'm really looking forward to is a pilgrimage out into the world, because I'm doing so much inner questing. I'm excited for an outer quest. And I think all of these courses are quests, they're pilgrimages, like to go to Applewood and to get on planes, trains, and automobiles, or whatever you're going to do, and go somewhere else that's super special and magical and gather with people with a deep intention to achieve something, to find something, to discover something. So I'm excitedly starting to plan my summer. I want to go to do ceremony and ritual in sacred sites in rural Wales for 8 days, and then land at Applewood with Luby, and we'll just do a short weekend advanced design course and do an activation, go deeper into the design web specifically. So it's kind of an advanced seed course. It's sort of the next level of the seed for people that already have done the seed and are familiar with the design web and cultural emergence and permaculture, and just play together and connect and sit around the fire and support each other in a more direct way to like achieve our goals and move forward on our quest. So yeah, that's a little bit for me. I guess I end with a quote from Goethe. He said, "Always hold fast to the present. Every situation, indeed every moment, is of infinite value, for it is the representative of a whole eternity." So I'm grateful to share a little shimmer of eternity with all of you today. And I'll pass it back to Luby.
Thank you, Delvin. Yeah. Yeah, lovely to think about that and all the adventures that will be coming in the summer that keep us warm, and the memories of last summer that keep us warm over winter as well. So some of you might know that another sort of thread and project that I've been working on over the last well, actually over the last 5 years is the Mother Nature project, and I've been working on that with Emma, and Emma is also our admin person. So if you following this call you have questions about any of the courses or anything, Emma will be happy to hear about them and help you if you want to book onto any of the courses or just connect in any way. And Emma is also part of the Mother Nature project with me. So I thought we'd just give you a moment, Emma, to just share and say hello, so that if people do email you, they've got they can put a name to face.
Hi everyone. Hopefully you can hear me all right, because Is it working? My computer had some sound issues today, but it seems to work in Zoom, which, you know, is great for the next moment. So yeah, lovely to see all of you. And some of you I've seen on the ACE course, the Peace course, the Seed course, online, in person. And yeah, I've got my own cultural emergence journey going alongside this and learning with Luby, which has been fantastic. And yeah, doing my own designs and getting involved with the Mother Nature Project as well. And we've where we're looking at empowering mothers on their transformational journey through motherhood, but also people who are mothering and creating projects, gardens, creating their own inner space, looking after themselves and care. And I think you could actually rephrase the Mother Nature Project as cultural emergence for mothers, but it's called the Mother Nature Project, but that's what it basically is. And when the Mother Nature Project was being developed in the early days between 2017 and 2020, Luby was also working on cultural emergence. So the two have kind of woven along together. And we just finished working on a book last year called Mothers as Natural Leaders, which is delving into our own leadership journey, which alongside she's been working and doing the leadership course with John Young as well. And there's hopefully cultural emergence leadership training coming on. So there's the two are kind of weaving together. And this coming up this year that we're working on that we can share with you is we've got the Leading Mother Nature Circles live online course. So a good one for people who aren't in the UK, where we're teaching people how to facilitate Mother Nature Circles using the Mother Nature cards. I was going to grab them, but they're just out of reach. But using those to just spend time sharing and connecting with other mothers. And part of cultural emergence is creating those deeper connections and how you can relate to other people and your own journey and their experiences, and giving people those little facilitation tools to do that. And then later in June, we're going to be doing our Mothers as Natural Leaders course, and this will be the third full time that we've done the course together, and sharing with mothers on their leadership journey and people who are mothering and who mothering projects or children or the gardens themselves, and just connecting with what our leadership means to us ourselves in our community, in the wider world, and how we can bring in our experiences that we've gained as mothers or through mothering projects, those caring and nurturing skills, not the top down, I'm the boss of everything, but those nurturing bottom up collaborative skills. And yeah, I'm picking that a bit and looking at how we can boost ourselves. And also, like Delson said, just looking forward to being at Applewood, out in the land, up in the orchard, in the marquee, and connecting with people. And it's such a magical place. I've been there lots and lots of times. And yeah, whenever I go, I kind of like, oh, it's like my second home. It's a place to go and be and land. So yeah, that's just a little bit for me. I think probably a few things pinged in the chat there, and we'll keep adding things. And yeah, hopefully some of you I've met before anyway, so I'll give you a wave. And those of you join in, yeah, just drop an email to the Applewood courses email, or the cultural emergence one, or the Mother Nature one, or one of the other ones. And I think I've got about 6 Yahoo accounts that open up every day. But yeah, I can point you in the right direction, hopefully be helpful, ping you out newsletters as well. So yeah, it's really nice to see you all. And yeah, hopefully see some of you in person and in the seed course. Particularly looking forward to that coming up soon, and the Mother Nature course. Now, hand back to you, Luby. I'll probably pop off now. I can hear the children in the background.
Okay, thank you, Emma. Thanks for being there, and thanks for doing all that newsletters and answering people's questions. It's really great. So, yeah, I'd like to give an opportunity now for either anyone that's been on one of my courses, because I know there's definitely quite a few familiar faces and names here. If you'd like to share something of your experience, and or if anyone's got questions they want to ask, yeah. So anyone like to anyone that's been here before that would like to share something about their, you know, what they've gained from being on one of the cultural emergence courses? I don't want to ask specifically, but anyone feeling? You've all gone shy. Lorna, you're not muted. Does that mean you're ready to speak? Or Sarah?
Oh, someone else is going. They can jump in. It's fine.
No, Sarah, it looks like Lorna has muted herself now. So if you're up for saying something, Sarah, that'd be lovely.
Oh, it's hard. to know what to say, because last year I first, well, I had 3 experiences in Applewood last year, which were both, I want to say, highlights of my year and quite transformational in some way. But it's hard for me to put words to it. So I was there initially just as a volunteer during the volunteer week in May. And that was just kind of putting feelers out to see if I wanted to commit to the courses. And well, I did. So I first attended the peace course, I think it was August. And it was magical. And they call it a course, and it's not a course. It's a retreat I would say it's more of a retreat than a course. And how do I put words to it? It's so, you need to experience it. That's all I can say. It's really difficult for me to put words to it because I don't think words would do it justice. So if this is something that it has landed in some way, then I highly recommend going. And if there was one, then it would be the piece. If you have like, it's almost a week, so if you have that time and space and money in your life, then that, I guess, would be the one. If you only have a weekend, then I also can highly recommend the ACE course. I followed it up, and I think that was September, and again, that was an amazing experience. It was about the connection and you connect so deeply, so quickly with the people that are there and with the land. There's something magical about Applewood. So yeah, hopefully my jumbled up words have planted a seed enough for you to click on and book. Happy to answer any questions, but I can't formulate any more sentences.
No, thank you, Sarah. I think this is it. It's kind of like, it's almost like where this like intuitive body knowing or sort of sense of like, I don't know why I need to be there, but I need to be there. And if you start kind of rationalizing it or like like trying to know exactly what, for example, what cultural emergence can do for you, it's not a rational process. It's an emergent process that comes from within. It activates your gifts, your passions, your quest from within, at the same time as then creating this container and this community. If you're working with others, on a course, we have had that thing of, do we call the piece a gathering, a summer camp, a retreat? It's like, it's a course, it's all of those things mixed into one. There's a few questions in the chat, so I'd like to come to there, but thank you, Sarah, for sharing. And maybe, as you say, it's just sparked that curiosity with people. So the Louise, is there a link for the so the inline in real life, the in-person course, we're doing an advanced design course in September, and I think Delvin will be able to drop the link in the chat for that one, which is like the seed course. It's kind of carrying on from that. We're not doing a specific seed course in person, because we found that actually doing it online really works well, because you're in your home, you're in your own patterns, and you're immediately able to make changes, and your design is really live and active and dynamic. So we've actually found that works, is one of the courses that really works well online. So the seed course will be online, and then in September Delvin will be coming over and we'll be doing the advanced design course. So that will be happening. Gianna would like to know more about the Celts, please. Yes, so the Celt is this opportunity to really go more into your leadership. So this is when you are already familiar with the toolkit and already using it regularly and integrating it and feeling comfortable and so we ask that you've done all the 3 modules so that you have that embedded understanding, and then you can move forward in your quest to be able to share that out into the world. And it might be that you're coming at the leadership training with the idea of like, I want to take cultural emergence out and lead that out in my communities. Or it might be, I'm already leading in my communities, I want to bring cultural emergence into that leadership. So, or it could be a mixture of both. And that's going to, so we're going to start that training with a week in September at Applewood, and then an online program where we'll have like monthly group calls and small group calls and mentoring and buddying up, and so a whole program that keeps us activated and designing and learning more. And then we'll come back in the following September to complete that. So it's going to be a group of really committed people that are that together we're just going to build this really sense of community and support, and really just moving ourselves up to our highest use at all times, and really becoming the leaders that we know we can be and that we know are needed in our communities. Leona, do you want to say something more about the Celt?
I think there's something really special about being with the same group of people over a long period of time. So we can actually, but also with all of that space that enables us to do what's alive in our lives and in our communities and get that support. Because I think a lot of us come up with great ideas, and the beginning of a project is always full of inspiration, but over time we can lose that momentum because life as it is in the way that we're living is very challenging. And so to have a cohort of people who are traveling with you on that journey, helping you to bring your vision into manifest being is a really exceptional opportunity. And it's really exciting that, you know, it takes us over the span right back through to the September. So it'll be just over a year. But in between, we've got some quite in-depth trainings, as well as some really, you know, what will happen in the way that we form the groups is some really in-depth connected relationships with people who are really using these tools. You know, more than just having done something and then leaving it behind and think it's a good thing, but really embedding it into everyday life so that we become the people that we really truly long to be in that process. And that's part of, you know, with embedded into the whole cultural emergence cycle, it are all of the nature connection core routines, are, you know, ways that we can look after and tend ourselves and our own personal cultures, and then ways that we can model that, live that, and bring other people into the ways that we want to see around us. What else needs to be said? There'll be lots of singing and some dancing if you so choose. But for me, a big part of is bringing together the practical with the liminal and the intentional with the dream world. You know, it's a way of bringing together what we know is possible with the practical tools that are available to us. As Luby said, you know, we have all the tools available to us in the world. They're already there, all the technologies, all the science, everything that we need to know exists. But we just need to learn how to communicate better, how to plan together, how to listen deeply. And that's not just to the humans, but to the land, to the other beings, and to each other, to ourselves. Yeah. Like that. In by way of the Celt.
Yeah, thank you. I imagine that there'll be lifelong friendships growing from the Celt as well. Lovely. There was another question here from Penel and sorry if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. It's fine if you can't make all the dates for the seed course. We do have like 4 online Zoom calls every other Thursday, and they're a great way to connect and meet other people. But they will be recorded, and then there's the videos that will take you through the design process. So I think the important thing, if you're joining the seed course, is to do a design for yourself and to just show up to that design. I think that's the most important thing. If you're showing up to your own design, that's in a way even more important than showing up to the group calls, although of course they'll be useful. So yeah, that's fine if you can't sign up to all of them.
Just to add to that, if that's all right, I can see that Nikki's written in
Yeah,
that see now there's a continuing journey with seed that she hadn't considered. And I would say, based on what you go on to say about the physical connection being really, really key, what's interesting about the seed is that each meet, we do a piece, and then there's time to start implementing that, and then you come back again and you layer onto it. Each time it is like a new layer, and we wouldn't get that in person. We wouldn't get it in the same way. So it's a very, in that way, I think it's a quite a special way of integrating and learning this into our everyday lives.
Nikki, you've asked a question there. Is there a way to frame the design courses that feel like it's making the mundane rational magical? Would you like to explain more what you mean, Nikki? And maybe while you're talking, something about the peace course, if you want to share.
Sure. Yeah, I notice that some avoidance and patterns in myself around things when it comes to like routine, organization, efficiency, and all of this. And I'm really keen to lean into it, but at the same time, it doesn't feel very appealing. It's getting there, but I'm just wondering, I don't know, I can't imagine what like the design process looks like at the moment. So stepping onto seed and doing that initially will be good for me, because then I'll get a feeling and a sense of what that's like. And then that'll probably then answer my question. But at the same time, I'm curious if there's anything else to, I don't know, encourage me to the magic of design.
Yeah, I think it's a word that sort of like suggests very much it's in our head, that design is like it's about thinking our way to a regenerative future, but it's not all about thinking our way there. It's also about feeling our way there and dancing our way there and connecting our way there, and all of those are important. And I think that we have I have this phrase of like discovering your inner designer, and like your inner designer is going to be different from my inner designer, and it's going to be different from Delvin's inner designer and from John's inner designer. And the point of the seed course is that we discover our own inner designer, and it doesn't matter what you do and how you design. I might learn something from it, might inspire me, but it's not the way that I need to follow. The way I need to follow is the way that works for me. And so that might be through dance, it might be through painting, it might be through spreadsheets. We all have different ways in which our brains work, which connect and which connect us as well. So it's about finding our ways through it, and then bringing that in, so that design thinking it encourages our inner designer. So it's it's going to be a fun journey for you, and just to find the magical in a designer. But it might be for different people. It will be different. For some people, they like a spreadsheet or like mapping things out, being very structured. Is there in a designer, and that's great. That's what they want to do. So there's different ways. Yeah. Thanks, Nikki. So
Yeah,
thanks for
thank
joining
you.
the Sea Journey. I'll see what's come. And Sarah, you've asked a question there. For seed to be effective, do I need to have a design in mind? Is designing my life too big a project? And yes. So what you don't need to have a design in mind before you join up to the course. Part of the course is about we talk people through what kind of designs you might do and what's appropriate scale. And I would say, yes, designing your life is too big a project, and it's to start small. It's like with carpentry, you're going to think, well, you could build a whole house, use skills and tools and maybe you want to build a bird box to start with. So it's the same, like, yes, you can design your whole life with the design web, and maybe starting small is useful, and then learning the tools from there. But we will, where that's the beginning of the course, is to share with people all the sort of design possibilities, and then guide them into more manageable design topics for that time.
What I would say about that, though, Sarah, and well, for everyone, is that starting small leads to an understanding that then lays onto everything that you do in life. Once you understand that process, it's a non-linear process, and it can be very expansive. Even when starting small, it can just open your mind to all sorts of possibilities, and it leads to a different way of thinking about what's ahead. So,
yeah, and hopefully you learn the design web, and then you can do multiple designs. That's the aim. That it's not just this is the design that you're doing. This is the one and only design you're doing. It's like, no, actually you're learning the process to be able to go and design over here and with other people, and carrying on because you've discovered your inner designer. Yeah. Lovely. Well, yeah, are there any other questions or reflections that people have? Maybe any other questions, and then we'll see if there's any reflections. But have we? Do let us know if we missed a question that's come up in the chat.
Can I share a bit, Luby? I think I'm looking for something less elaborate than all these courses of weekends and a week in year one and a week in year two. I got a set of your cards, thank you. And like Delvin, the first one I picked out was Move the Tools, which fitted very well with where I was. And so I'm interpreting that as moving the cards as moving the tools. But there are an awful lot of cards to learn and understand. So I think what I'm looking for is some way of doing that with someone else, or a small group, to learn the cards together, because I would quite like to use them with community groups and things like that, but I don't feel I know them well enough yet to do that, and I don't want to be using them to learn it for myself. I want to put a bit of work into learning what they are, to know how to pick up on other people's ideas. So I'm looking for something quite basic in a way, and practical, and on the small end of these designs. But I've got a sort of feel for what I'm trying to do. It's just trying to find somebody else in a similar stage of that.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian. Yeah, there are a lot of them. I understand, I recognize that. I'd also like to share, though, that the cards themselves hold the wisdom, so you don't need to know them all before you use them with other people.
Yeah.
So you know you can use them, and people will pick them, and they will resonate with them, whether they know anything about permaculture or cultural emergence or nature connection. They don't need to. You'll find that they do resonate with people and talk to them. So it's like the cards themselves hold the wisdom. So it was the same with the Mother Nature cards. People were like, "Oh, I'm a bit shy to hold a group with them," and it's like, well, actually, the cards kind of do the holding, in a way. So, there is time to, you know, there's the possibility to share them with people even when you don't feel like you've got the full understanding of all of them. It is what one point I'd like to you know encourage you on, to just use them and try, particularly using like the practice, the you know the practices and the principles, those two families, so you can pull out kind of you know one of the families or two of the families, and not need to kind of use all of them with a group. It works if you just want to kind of you know, or even like look through them yourselves and just go, which ones are resonating with me, and pulling out, you know, 20 or 30 that you think, oh yeah, those really will be useful for whatever we're talking about tonight. That's one thing. And then the other thing, in relation to the courses, so yeah, I mean the Celt is the year-long program, but there is the the free taster course, um, uh, online as well, and also with we've got the online seed kit, which then I'm in the process of creating some videos there about how to share them with groups and things, so that will help you as well. And you've given me the idea of like, yeah, how do we, you know, you might be able to put out a call there for people if there's other people that would like to meet up with you and regularly, you know, however frequently, talk about the cards and
Yeah,
connect with them. So yeah,
that all sounds very helpful. And I'm probably looking for 2 or 3 or 4 people to work with at that sort of level, at the pace that we can do it between ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, and you're right, the move the tools is just try and see. That's, I mean, that's really the kind of the essence of the move the tools card, is just to show up and see what emerges. So I think it's, you know, that's the message for you as well, is use them. So yeah, thanks, Adrian. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I look forward to hearing how it all goes with you. Yeah.
thanks. Yep.
Lovely. Okay, well, yeah. So maybe if there's anyone that's got any reflections on the call, or that they're just to start kind of bringing the call to a close, anyone would like to share? Yeah, Soka, thank you.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for this call, and for a lovely grounding at the beginning. Yeah, I just want to say that I'm like so excited because I came across, I'm a people's person, and I did permaculture design course years ago, and then I've noticed exactly what you were talking about, and then I read People in Permaculture book, and I got like, I'm like, finally someone is doing the thing on people's permaculture. So but then I was doing my master's at the time, so I couldn't really delve deeper into it. So I just finished not long ago, and then started reading Culture and Emergence recently, and was just sharing with my friend today that I really want to, that's my thing. I really people person, and that's what I really passionate about, and I would love to spread this toolkit, even though I don't completely understand it yet because I just started learning about it, but I can feel it in my heart that this is just like such a amazing thing to have. That kind of, I'm a very a kind of structure person. I like to have a structure. It doesn't have to be rigid, but something to kind of hold on to. That's why I love the permaculture design in the first place. And yeah, to apply this, I'm just like super excited that there is this opportunity to learn more and to connect. And yeah, thank you so much for this for this work. So that's what I just wanted to say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I like that. It's kind of what I was saying to Adrian there as well, of like, you can share it before you feel like you fully understand and integrate all of it, you know. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share anything before we close? Okay, we've got time for 2 or 3 shares. Yeah, daughter.
If you can say my name.
Daughter.
No, it's really good. It was really good. Yeah. I like to share because I was attracted to Sky Jin. Is a very thorough person, and I'm the total opposite of her. And she was following these cards, and that attracted me quite a lot to be able to like make something out of like something that's really easy. And I often have problem. It's not like I'm having problem concentrating, or maybe it is. So I'm a bit scared of starting all this diploma journey, but it seems like it's been put into small like time slots, and that attracts me a lot too. Also, I have a few things that I already know that I would like to do projects on, and one is this summer I'm doing the Nordic Permaculture Festival, which of course you're all invited to, and I will probably mention that again later. Where I hope to be able to get some amazing people visiting. Hint, hint. And yeah,
When is it? That's
it's
the
1st to 4th of August. Yeah, 1st to 4th of August. So the weekend is the 3rd and 4th. Yeah, good. And the whole of Scandinavian is coming, so maybe it's a good place to be.
okay.
Yeah.
Email me about it. We'll
I'll
see.
do that. Another thing is that I'm trying to do a farming community, not a living community, but a farming community. We're doing the farming together, but living in separate housing. And that's not legal in Denmark. So the last 3 years, my husband and I have been trying to find a spot where we can attract permaculture people to do farming. And I am going crazy because this is taking so long. So I really need some tools to, yeah, I hope I can get some help from doing this course as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's bring our call to a close. Maybe Leona, then Delvin, and then I'll finish. So some last words from you. You're muted still there, Leona.
I am feeling grounded and nourished at the same time as slightly excited by what I know is rippling out into the world each time we gather, each time we meet, each time we share the cards with someone who's never experienced it before, each time we check in more deeply with ourselves, because they're being given permission time and again through courses like this, the Seed of Peace, and making good choices. I'm really happy to see all of you here and to have heard your questions and your curiosities, your quest for life, and I'm grateful to be part of all of this. Grateful to be living in these uncertain times where anything is possible. Over to you, Devin.
Wow, what a bounty of blessings to connect with these amazing people. Of seeing the sparkle in all your eyes and seeing people's comments in the chat and hearing people's reflections. And yeah, I'm excited to have my own quest activated with this call, and I hope that all of you feel some motivation, encouragement, and support on your quest wherever it takes you. And yeah, I look forward to running into you more and more online, or maybe even in person at some point. Looking forward to it. Luby?
Oh yeah, thank you everyone. It's just been really nice. I think was it Anna that said she's just come for a bit of a cultural emergence hug with the other people that are connected and thinking about it all. And I feel like that as well. I feel more better than I did at the beginning of the call, so that's always a good sign. I was really so I feel, yeah, kind of really hopeful, and it's been like a kind of virtual campfire sitting around with you all here, and I just feel like one more card before we go. This one, this one is Honor the Wisdom Within. All senses provide information. Every system holds wisdom. Use body intuition when designing. Solutions and answers are inside all of us. Yeah, I feel like there's been this system that we've created here today has held wisdom, and that we've all kind of connected up, and the body, you know, is that part of that connecting with our body. What's our body saying? Where's the excitement coming from? This, you know, this excitement that a few of us have expressed, that's our body giving us information that's saying yes to this, yes to connecting more with each other, yes to connecting more with nature, yes to designing our own lives, yes to living in community and supporting each other, and yes to cultural emergence and how that can ripple out in the world. So thank you all so much for coming, and thank you to anyone that's been watching the recording, and thank you to Leona and Delvin and Emma, and yeah, and I'll hang around for a bit, but we'll stop the recording now and we'll just let everyone unmute, and if you want to say anything on the way out, or hang out for a minute. I see lots of hearts. Yeah, thank you. You could stop the